um, with our next guest. For those of you from the Detroit area, you may be familiar with him from WDIV. Want to introduce Mr. Evrod Cassimy.
Hi there. Thank you for having me, first of all. Excited to be a part of this. And yeah, my name is Evrod Cassimy. I'm the morning anchor at WDIV, Local 4 News Today. A lot of you guys probably watch that in the morning. And you want us to talk about our education journey, huh? So my education journey, well, first of all, let me back it up. My parents' education journey, they are educators. My father was a career principal at one point in his career, being a teacher, and at one point in his career also being a superintendent. My mother was a teacher her whole career, and she continues to tutor as a retired teacher now. So growing up for me, education was always what an option. It was something that you just had to do. My parents were able to help us with whatever education we needed. I should also point out my parents are immigrants, so they're not from this country. The secondary education, college, and all that stuff was very important to them, but they were learning it for the first time coming here to the United States after having graduated at high school in their country. So for me, I mean, I went to a number of different schools, from public to private, throughout my elementary, middle, and high school years. And by the time I was a senior in high school, going to a private Christian school just outside of Chicago, kind of decided what it is that I wanted to do. And it was never are you going to go to college or are you not going to go to college? It was, you're going to college. My parents never really had to push me, just because I knew that was expected. It was never, oh, I don't want to go. I just knew that once you're done, you got to figure out getting into college. And so I went to Columbia College, downtown Chicago, which was the greatest experience of my life. It's a media arts school. So I knew that I wanted to get into media and the arts. I've been singing my entire life, writing music. Just released my second album in November, and I have my a new EP coming out on Sunday. You'll hear it on the radio on Monday, on November 2nd, starting on Monday. So I knew I wanted to do something like that. And by about my senior year in high school is when I decided that I wanted to get into television news. You can ask me as many questions about that as you want, but point blank, I'm nosy as heck. So I figured this would be a good outlet. I like to write. So I, grew up singing and writing music. Now I can also focus on that, plus writing stories for the news. And my parents actually, when I was in high school, my junior and senior year, I did what was called dual credit. So I was basically in college, but also in high school. The school that I attended, the private Christian school, allowed us to take college courses for high school credit, but we'd also get college credit as well. So I got a lot of my gen ed classes out of the way my junior and senior year of high school. And then just for a semester after high school, I went to a local community college, finished up the majority of my gen eds, and then started right after that in college, downtown Chicago, and majored in television broadcast journalism. Really got my feet wet by digging deep into my education there. I did an internship at the NBC station in Chicago, along with two other internships, one at a local Christian television station, and then another one at the ABC station in a smaller town in Illinois. And, college is not easy. It's definitely not easy, but you kind of have to have a vision and a plan. And I knew that education was something that was always important. So as much as I would have loved to have, not finished, because it was difficult, I'm not going to pretend that it wasn't. I graduated. I have a bachelor's degree. But for my parents and my brother, my father finished his PhD, I would say like maybe 2-3 years ago. My mom is working on hers. She has a master's. My dad has a master's. My brother has 2 bachelors, and he's 2 years younger than me. and he just finished his master's degree, and he is getting ready to work on his PhD. He's a dang overachiever. I said, look, get me out into the workforce. I'm ready to get started on the real world and my career doing TV news and music. I started my own record label about 2 years ago, and I've just been having a good time using what I've learned in college and making a career out of it. And that's
Thank
that.
you, Evrod. I like how, I appreciate how you added the part that, one of the main things about getting education is not just for that piece of paper, but it's also to pick up skills that you can apply into the real world.
Yeah. No, it was important. I mean, at one point I wanted to change my major. I was doing a lot with my music in Chicago, and I wanted to get into music business, but I said, I'm here. I can do both of them. So I stuck with television, and here we are. It looks like some people have some questions.
I was just gonna say some questions in the chat.
Right,
so what motivated you to keep your studies going is one of the questions.
What motivated me to keep my studies going? Simple. When I was about a junior or senior in college, I was doing shows in Chicago at different venues. I had just recorded a demo, and I said, I'll graduate, I'll finish all that, but I definitely wanted to do music. And I had a team with me, a merge team, backup dancers. We were auditioning background singers at one point, and I remember I had worked at Starbucks part-time while going to school, while also in the recording studio all the time. And one of my backup dancers was a few years older than me, and I remember when we were scheduling our dance rehearsals, one of the times she had told me that she could not do it on a specific day because she had to work. And so I thought, oh, she graduated college. She has or no, she didn't graduate college. She was older than me, and I knew that she danced as much as she could for a living. And she told me that she couldn't make the rehearsal because she had to work at Starbucks. Now, I was already working at Starbucks at the time. And while it is a great job, shout out to all the baristas out there, I knew that that was not what I wanted to do with my life. And I said, if I don't finish school, I wouldn't have all of those years that I put in already would have just sort of been in vain. You know what I mean? And then there's also the student loans. Like, who wants to be paying off student loans with no degree to show for it? Just because you don't finish doesn't mean that Sally Mae says, oh, it's okay. We'll just call it even. No, you still got to pay them back. So I said, well, you know what? It makes more sense to finish, to get a job, doing what you already know you're going to love, and still trying to do everything that you love. So.
Thanks for sharing that with us. Also, someone said, you mentioned singing. Like, so can you sing for us?
Can I sing for you?
Do a quick 10-second little, what is it called? Like a little.
Well, let me say this. So my Christmas EP comes out on Sunday, and it'll be available everywhere. My 2 previous albums and singles and all that stuff. Go follow me on Spotify, and you can hear it. You can hear it there. What I'll do is this: I'll play one of the songs off of the EP that's coming out here very, very soon.